Now we're going to switch gears a little bit, talk about Lewis dot structures. The Lewis dot diagram is a diagram that shows how many valence electrons an element has. It's going to be written with symbols of elements and dots placed around the symbol to represent electrons. Right, so how you do this is step 1. We're going to write the symbol of the element. Our example is chlorine, so we're going to write the symbol of chlorine, which is C lowercase l. Alright, step 2, we're going to figure out how many valence electrons the element has. Remember, we can find that out from the periodic table. So chlorine is over here, so we're just going to count. 1, 2, skip all these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so there is chlorine. Alright, so we found out it has 7 valence electrons. We're going to place dots around the symbol, starting at the top and going around clockwise fashion. You must place 4 dots before going back to pair them. So essentially, you're going to pretend there's a box around chlorine. You can draw it if you want to. You don't have to. And we're going to put 1 on each side before we go back to pair until we get to 7. So 1, and I'm now going to put another one next to it. I got to go to the next side. 2, 3, 4. Now I can go back and pair. 5, 6, 7. All right, the way Canvas is going to ask you, to make sure you know how to draw this, is going to ask you how many lone electrons there are, right? Lone electrons are ones that don't have a partner next to them, right? So partner, 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 partner. So, right, this one would have 1 lone electron. All right. So I'm going to walk you through, let's go with 2 more, and then you guys can do the rest on your own. All right, so let's start with hydrogen. Hydrogen has how many valence electrons? All right, you should have told me it has 1 valence electron. And so it has 1 valence electron, so we're just going to put 1 valence electron on it. All right, ta-da, that's it. So if I asked you how many lone electrons are here, you should tell me 1. All right, let's try nitrogen. How many valence electrons does nitrogen have? You should have told me nitrogen has 1, 2, skip all these, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So if I ask you how many lone electrons nitrogen has, you should say 1, 2, 3. All right, 3 little lone electrons. Cool. It doesn't necessarily matter. Let's say you did this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you put the 5th one here. Whatever, that's fine, right? It still has 3 lone electrons. As long as you didn't do this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? That's not cool because this side has none. So make sure that you are doing 1 on each side before you go back to pair. All right. Now you guys do the rest of them. Tell me oxygen. How many lone electrons is oxygen going to have? All right, it has 6 valence electrons, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should have told me it has 2 lone electrons. All right, carbon. How many lone electrons does carbon have? Carbon has 4 valence, so 1, 2, 3, 4. You should have told me it has 1, 2, 3, 4 lone electrons. All right, beryllium. Tell me how many lone electrons does beryllium have? It has 2 valence electrons, 1, 2, so you should have told me it has 2 lone electrons. And lastly, sulfur. How many lone electrons will sulfur have? Sulfur also has 6 valence electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you should have told me it'll have 2 lone electrons. All right, and that is Lewis dot structures. Ta-da.